The following is an 18PR production. From deep in the heart of West Texas.
And everybody knows Studio A or Ground Zero is at 18PR, and everyone knows 18PR is out yonder.
It's a one-of-a-kind, worldwide transmission. Heroes and Heroines File. The Free-Range Talent File. The Unexplained Files. The Ain't Love Grand File. Michael Shawn's Campfire.
And the Free-Range Texan News Network.
A clear and present detour on the road of everyday life.
You're listening to the Free Range Texan podcast.
With our host, who's been voted the hardest working man in podcasting, Michael Shawn.
Thank you, sweetie pie. She thinks I work hard. Episode 25 of the Free Range Texan. Trailing our way across planet Earth in the year 2019 in a place called West Texas. What a show our intrepid crew has lined up for you here. We want to introduce you folks to Ragland, singers, songwriters, and clearly another look at the future of popular music. You all know that's what we often do here on the Free Range Talent File on our Free Range Texan podcast. Once again, Kid Manning has come up with some tremendous talent for our podcast. But before we get to all of that, we have a bit of a weather commentary. Now, you know, everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. And beyond that, as all of you know, we'll do what we always do. We are scheduled to end up at our campfire to tell about one of the most colorful, real-life West Texans that ever rode through God's country. The Free Range Texan podcast is produced and sponsored by those exceptional folks at 18PR. I'm not just blowing smoke here, folks, for advertising, production, graphic design, strategic media planning, even podcasts, for crying out loud. You have the idea. 18PR can make it happen. Take a look for yourself. Just go to the freerangetexan.net website. You'll quickly find a link to 18PR's website. So go ahead, take a look. Maybe you could hire the A-Team. Now, saddle up. Let's get ready to ride. Have digital microphone will travel.
Senor, what are you doing?
Aiming high over the wall. You're listening to the Free Range Texan podcast. The following is one of those evolving things that pops up every year or two, and every time I hear it, it's funnier. It's about a fella from up north who moved down here, south of the Mason-Dixon and out west away. June 1st, Dear Diary, just moved to Texas. Now this is a state that knows how to live. Beautiful sunny days and warm balmy evenings. What a place. It's beautiful. I've finally found my home. I love it here. June 14th. Dear Diary, really heating up. Got to 100 degrees today. Not a problem. Live in an air-conditioned home. Drive air-conditioned car. What a pleasure it is to see the sun every day. June 30th. Had the backyard landscaped with western plants today. Cactus and rocks. Easy to maintain. No one mowing the lawn for me. Oh, another scorcher today. But I love it here. July 10th. The temperature hasn't been below 100 all week. How do people get used to this kind of heat? At least it's windy. July 15th. Dear Diary, fell asleep by the community pool. Now have third-degree burns over 60% of my body. Missed 3 days of work. July 25th. Diary, this place feels like a giant blow dryer. The home AC is on the fritz, and the repairman charged $200 just to tell me he needed to order parts. July 30th. Diary, glad I was able to locate you. Been sleeping on the patio for 3 nights. $200,000 house, and I can't even go inside. August 4th. It's 112 degrees. Finally got air conditioner fixed. Cost $500 and get temperature down to 85 degrees or so. I hate this stupid state. August 8th. Diary, if one more of these Texans asked, hot enough for you today? I'm gonna strangle him. August 9th. Diary, tried to run some errands after work, wore shorts, sat on the seats of the car. I set my legs on fire. My skin stuck to the seat. I lost a complete layer of flesh and all of the hair on the back of my legs. August 10th. Diary, the weather report might as well be a gall-darn recording. Hot and sunny, hot and sunny, hot and sunny. Doesn't it ever rain in this state? Water rationing will be next. So my $1,700 worth of cactus can now just dry up and blow away. August 14th. Temperature got 113 today. Cactus are dead. Forgot to crack the window, and the heat cracked my windshield on the car. The installer came to fix it, and guess what he asked me? Hot enough for ya? My sister had to spend $1,500 to bail me out of jail. What kind of sick, demented idiot would want to live here? We'll write later to let you know how the trial goes. I guess we've all had those God bless Texas moments. The Free Range Talent File is looking to see if you're looking to be on the Free Range Texan podcast. Calling all talent, all kinds of music, country and western.
That never gets old.
Folk music, rock and roll, cowboy poetry, or maybe you just tell a good story. Talent is talent. Maybe your talent will make the cut on the Free Range Talent File. If you've got talent, or if someone you know has talent, submit their name and telephone number to info@freerangetexan.net. They'll probably get a call to talk about podcast stuff, and you could be our next guest on the Free Range Texan Talent File. Go ahead, send it in. 18PR Studios has plenty of tour bus parking. It's a telephone interview, and we'll probably end up playing one of your recordings. You can do this. Okay, turn the effects back on. Email Email submissions to info@freerangetexan.net. Your friends, relatives, girlfriends, family, boyfriends, or all of the above could be listening to you as our next guest on the Free Range Talent File, providing a home for talent. The Free Range Texan Podcast. It's time now for another segment of Free Range Talent, brought to you by A-Team-PR, bringing a host of creative media production and public relations services to our exclusive list of clients. Maybe you could hire the A-Team. And now, here's the next segment of Free Range Talent. Well, on the Free Range Texan Podcast, our Free Range Talent File has certainly got some special guests on our show right now. And we have Sam Cox and Autumn Ragland of the group Ragland. Kid Manning told me weeks ago, you got to get this group Ragland on your show. And he began to feed me information about you. And I want to tell you, the more we heard and the more we saw, the more we knew that once again, Kid Manning was right. And we really needed you guys to be on our podcast because you are exactly the best example of singer-songwriters that come out of this part of the country. So welcome to our podcast.
Hey, yeah, thanks, man. Yes.
Okay, well, Sam, the two of you have been playing together for since the beginning. When was the beginning?
2015.
2015, yeah. So 2015 is probably whenever Ragland started. Autumn and I have been together since about 2 years before that. We pretty much we played music together before we were even together, but we didn't really decide to, I guess, put our heads together into the same project until a couple years later.
Well, where are the two of you originally from?
I'm from Pryor, Oklahoma. And Sam, you're from
Locust Grove, Oklahoma. I don't know, a little bit everywhere. Autumn pretty much lived in Pryor for the majority of her life. We both live in Tahlequah, Oklahoma now.
How long have you been doing what you're doing, traveling on the road and performing your music?
About 7 years.
Yeah, about 7. We've been doing about 7 years together almost.
And then Sam and some other guys were behind me, but I really felt like everyone contributed to the sound so much that I wanted it to be a band and not just Autumn Ragland. It'd be a cool idea to call a band Ragland someday, so we just went ahead and went with that.
Yeah, we try to, honestly, and as cliche as it sounds, we really do just try to give it 110%, like all the time. We are super blessed to be able to do this as our full-time job, our full-time income. I mean, we're on the road more than we're home, granted, but we get to choose, kind of for the most part, everything about our career, and the fact that we're our own boss is something that you don't really get to take for granted very often. I mean, there's sometimes the road's long, and sometimes radio tours and just regular show tours and stuff that would end in a bad way sometimes. But whenever you get home and you have that time to yourself, and you're like, man, I can go do whatever I want. I don't have to call in if I don't want to go to work or something. It's hard to really take for granted about being your own boss, I guess, really at the end of the day. So it's kind of our main driving force.
How many days a year would you say you probably spend out on the road?
I would say between shows, recording, weekends or something sometimes, probably about 250. Just, everything combined into one is about 250. There's very seldomly, there's less than 100 days a year that we're sitting at home.
The real tough part of the nut to get over is to be able to stay busy, to actually do what it is that it is your dream to do, and to stay busy at it most of the year. You seem to be doing that.
So we kind of like it. We feel a little weird when we're just sitting around.
Yeah.
So.
We plan super far ahead, honestly.
Yeah.
we're always looking, honestly, like at the next 18 months. If you try to keep track of all of your near future, plan a lot. We sit in front of a lot of calendars all the time and really try to stay busy.
And we take opportunities, even if we're like, well, we don't know if we really have time for that, but like, let's just make it happen.
We are, of course, writing an article for our Free Range Texan blog, and
awesome.
can have pictures of you up there and so on and so forth. And, also a chance for them to hear the music that we're going to play coming up in just a few minutes. A good chance to listen to that if they go to freerangetexan.net. Plus, your music is available in our store at the Free Range Texan House of Treasures. And we enjoy the fact that people can not only see you and hear a little bit more about you, but they can actually get in touch with you through freerangetexan.net. With your permission, we will give as much of your contact information as you will allow us to give for people who are hearing this interview and maybe think that you would be a great choice for their venue. Do you have a producer that is working with you in the studio? And let me give you an example. We have a copy of Footsteps here that we wanted to share with our listeners. But where did you produce that? How did that come about?
We produced that at Yellow Dog Studios in Wimberley, Texas.
And we actually had two producers on that. One was Dave Percival. Dave's, known for producing like everybody from the last, 20 years, as far as Jason Boland and Brandon Jenkins. And he works at Abbey Road Studio in London. And then Adam Oder, which Adam Oder is just like, he's one of the best people in this whole business, if you ask us. But no, they were both really good. We recorded those at Yellow Dog. We may be going back there in the future, but I think that our next album is probably going to be Oklahoma-based. We kind of want to keep it up here.
We want a different vibe for the next album.
Yeah.
Well, now, let me ask you this, and don't change your vibe too much, because this song we're about to play is great. We've had people in here in the studio going, who is that? We've exposed it to a number of people around here, and they like it, and so do I. It's smooth as butter, I guess is the way to put it, and feels like velvet.
We haven't got that yet, so that's good.
Well, all right. Well, now, did one of you write that song, or did you write it together?
I do most of the writing, so
that was actually all Autumn. That song was all Autumn.
Most of them are all.
I'm just saying, no, like instrumentally and everything. That one was all completely Autumn. Like, sometimes I'll come in and do instruments and stuff, but that one was 100%.
Well, I guess, Autumn, what I'm doing is asking for the backstory on the song called Footsteps.
Okay. Well, my brother went through a divorce, and I write a lot of songs from other people's perspectives. Like, I don't like to just write songs from mine. Like, if I'm feeling, empathy towards somebody and I'm kind of picking up on their emotions, and I'll write a song about it. And so that's just about, him going through his divorce and, trying to make things better and get her back, and then just realizing, in the end that, sometimes you're just not going to be person for somebody, and you just need to walk away from that and know that that's okay.
Well, Autumn Ragland and Sam Cox of the group Ragland, I just want to tell you that it's delightful to have you as guests on our Free Range Texan podcast. And what we would like to do...
talking to you.
Well, we want to share with our listeners what we've been talking about up till now. So here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Ragland and Footsteps.
I promise you half of the time you're not on my mind. Got better things to do than listen to you try to change with the seasons instead of playing along. You can try and resign, so I miss you when you're gone. And I can find the footsteps, but I can't find the words. tell you mine. I'm burning in your glory. Are you are doing fine? And I can find the footsteps, but I can't find the words. So I can't walk the walk, talk the talk, if there's no way to learn. Someday it's gonna run out, might give it down, and maybe not, but I still think we could have been something. I can find the footsteps, but I can't find the words. So I can't walk the walk, talk the talk. There's no way, there's no way. I can find the footsteps, but I can't find the words, no. So I can't walk the walk, talk the talk, if there's no way to
You've been listening to the Free Range Talent File. If you'd like more information about our guests, just go to our website at freerangetexan.net. Also, submissions to be interviewed on our program can also be submitted on freerangetexan.net.
When we say get your snapshots in,
Maybe just a selfie.
how many could be in the picture?
We really don't care.
The Free Range Texan Listener Posse. Is it just for Texans?
Anyone from planet Earth. Or not.
Okay, how do we send them in?
Info at freerangetexan.net.
So we get the picture on the blog.
We'd have it no other way.
And we get the picture on the Free Range Texan Facebook page.
Yep.
And then we're official members of the Free Range Texan Listener Posse.
You want a little sugar with that coffee?
So, you're making us famous.
Yeah.
So I send the picture to info at freerangetexan.net.
And that will get her done.
How about I just bring it by the ranch out yonder?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm busy that day. Hi, this is Michael Shawn, and coming up is one of my favorite characters to talk about here around the campfire. By now, I suppose everyone knows the name of Judge Roy Bean. The judge has been portrayed in colorful books and movies and TV series as one of the more flamboyant characters from the Old West. Judge Bean, as he liked to be called, actually never received a title higher than Justice of the Peace. His courthouse was a saloon located in Langtree, Texas. He named the little town after actress Lily Langtree. We can all assume that his attraction to Lily must have followed one of Ms. Langtree's many performances in the Western frontier. In reality, though, Judge Roy Bean never actually met Miss Langtree. Instead, he fell head over heels in love with a drawing of her on a magazine. Judge Bean even had her portrait hanging above the bar in his saloon/courthouse. Sadly, it was 10 months after his death when Ms. Langtry actually visited the town that bore her name. Some people refer to Judge Roy Bean as the hanging judge. Truth is, Judge Bean sentenced only 2 men to death in his entire judgmental career, and one of them escaped. He did on occasion ask acquaintances to act like criminals. He would sentence them to be hanged, but just before the noose was placed around their neck, he would commute their sentence with a stern lecture. He found that play acting was a good deterrent to crime. The wily old judge was famous for fining a dead man $40 for having a concealed weapon. He refused to send any money collected as fines to state officials in Austin. Rumors were told that his fines often were being given to indigent people, widows and orphans, and the like. Among his other duties, Judge Bean performed wedding ceremonies for a rate of $5 per couple, and all weddings were completed with the same statement. The judge would say, "May God have mercy on your souls." He was a true one-of-a-kind real-life character of the Old West. The stories say he kept a noose hanging on the front porch of his saloon/courthouse. He would often be fond of reminding defendants that it was too dang hot to walk out to the gallows, and they might just step on out on the front porch and get the hanging done. I have a feeling, partners, that it got their attention. Judge Roy Bean, known far and wide as the law west of the Pecos. Well, they don't make 'em like that anymore, or do they? I'm Michael Shawn, and thanks for dropping by and sitting a spell here at Michael Shawn's Campfire. It's good to have you on board. We look forward to seeing you next time. Oh, and here's a thought. Invite a friend to the campfire. Adios, my friends. Well, clearly, there is no business like show business. And our numbers continue to grow here on the Free Range Texan. You folks are the reason why. We are grateful. Hey, hats off to Ragland for being great guests on our Free Range Talent File. And of course, we acknowledge the attentive and loyal security provided by Foxy, the Wonder Dog. Go get in the pickup, Foxy. And it's like those West Texas farmers and ranchers tell me, it doesn't take a very big person to carry a grudge. Some others tell me, be careful not to corner something you know is meaner than you are. See you down the way.
This episode of Free Range Texan Podcast is brought to you by A-Team PR. Thinking about creating your own podcast? Let the crew at A-Team PR help. A-Team PR is a proud sponsor and producer of the Free Range Texan Podcast. For more information, go to freerangetexan.net. That's freerangetexan.net.
Take 'em home, sweetie pie.
Thank y'all for listening to the Free Range Texan podcast, produced at A-Team PR Studios out yonder in West Texas, with our host who's been voted the hardest working man in podcasting, Michael Shawn. Feedback or submissions to our program can be submitted on our website, freerangetexan.net. That's freerangetexan.net. This is Sweetie Pie on behalf of Michael, Shawn, and the crew here in Studio A, where we're all looking forward to spending time with you on our next bi-weekly episode of the Free Range Texan podcast. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Tower, this is Free Range Texan Airways, Podcast 1, ready for takeoff.
Podcast 1, you're cleared for takeoff.
Nose up. Check wheels up.
Wheels up.
Reduce flaps. Mr. Sanders, take us to 10,000 feet. Bring us around to a course of south by southwest.
10,000 feet, south by southwest. Aye, Captain.
Engage autopilot.